Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people for your Tuesday, April the 9th. We are a week and 2 days away from the end of the regular season. Yep, not that much longer to go. And a lot left to be decided when it comes to playoff positioning, who's going to win all the scoring title stuff and all that. We know who's going to win the Rocket Richard, though, right? And we'll talk about that. So we'll start off with news from the Devils. Jack Hughes is out. It's an upper body injury and not much clarity on how long he might be out. So considering New Jersey's long odds of making the playoffs, it could be season ending because a week is season ending basically at this point for the Devils. So we'll see. John Marino will play tonight. So again, Devils playoff hopes are really faint. They need a lot of hope if they're going to get into the hunt. We shall see. The New York Rangers, with a win tonight, can clinch the division in the event that the Canes lose in regulation. So if Carolina picks up a point, the Rangers don't clinch. If the Carolina Hurricanes lose in regulation against Boston, then that's a clinching scenario for the New York Rangers. And of course, they're trying to win the President's Trophy as well. Other clinching scenarios from tonight: if the LA Kings beat the Anaheim Ducks, which sounds very realistic and likely, they will clinch a playoff spot, and the Nashville Predators just need a point. All they need is a point against the Winnipeg Jets. They will clinch themselves a playoff spot. Very likely they end up being the number one wild card, but we'll see. Again, we've got some games left, and it's yet to be decided who's going to finish in what order. Third place in the Pacific is still there for the taking as well. All right, which of course LA currently has that spot. Matthews ties Ovechkin's career high in goals for a season. 65th goal last night. And that is the most for any active National Hockey League player. The idea of him reaching 70 is still out there. I don't know if he gets to 70, but I will say that he's at least going to get another goal or two. And it stands to reason that Matthews might be the one player in the National Hockey League who, if he can continue to score goals like he has so far in his career, someday we may be talking about him getting to the 700, 800 goal range. So Matthews' goal scoring is just fantastic. He's got such a nose for the net, and so far he's found it 65 times this season. No reason to think he can't do this year in and year out. We'll see if he can do that again next season as well. But yeah, Matthews, they're getting their money's worth with him. I know it's a really high contract, but you get 65 goals from a guy, you're not going to complain about how much it's costing you. So last night, Connor Garland, big night for him, his 400th NHL game. He gets his 100th goal. But he went to JT Miller and he was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if there was a t-shirt commemorating my 400th game? And he and JT Miller apparently play pranks on one another. So Miller's like, that's a great idea. Honestly, it's a great idea. It's such an odd thing to have a t-shirt commemorating. So he goes to the equipment guys like 5 minutes after Garland comes to him with that idea. The equipment guys get to work. They manufactured 18 of these t-shirts so that when Garland arrived, everybody else was wearing a Connor Garland commemorative 400th game t-shirt. And it was nice because honestly, the Canucks are saying that it was kind of like it broke the tension, it relaxed them. Last night they go out and for the first time in, I think it said 6 weeks, they beat a team that's bound for the playoffs. It might be 4 weeks, but it's been a while since they beat a team that's bound for the playoffs, and it's just relax, go out, play your game. They showed the first half of the season they're a good team. And Garland also saying that last night is the first time that an arena has chanted his name, and also said he might be the worst player who has ever had his name chanted in an NHL arena. I will say no to that. I will say there are definitely players who've been fringe players who've been chanted, who've had their names chanted over the NHL's long existence. And Garland's self-deprecating humor is pretty funny, as well as JT Miller saying the t-shirts aren't worth anything. So he gets these shirts made. His only regret, Miller said the only regret he had was he didn't have one for everybody in the organization for when Garland got there. But it is interesting that when Miller does this, the tension gets broken in the room, and there you go. They go out and they have arguably their best game and a comeback at that as well, against a team that is bound for the playoffs and did look pretty good. I thought Vegas looked good at points last night, but Vancouver kept it under control, and maybe we'll look back on this. Maybe this is their U2 story. maybe this is going to be the one where you say, hey, remember the t-shirt story with Garland? Maybe that'll be it. But Vancouver's definitely needed a good story, and there we have it now. Garland's really endeared himself to fans this year. He is the hardest working forward out there. Anytime we watch a game, and we're going to the game tomorrow night, of course, against Arizona, I love watching Garland play. He works so hard, and you can tell it's him because he's shorter than everybody else, and he really doesn't care that he's shorter than everybody else. Does not affect his style of play at all. If Garland was, say, 4 inches taller, I think he would be a very in-demand hockey player and would have been for a very long time. So, yeah, we'll see how far this goes and how quickly the Vancouver Canucks store goes, hey, these t-shirts, that t-shirt story is pretty popular. We should put those in the store. That very often ends up happening with the Vancouver Canucks, where they'll decide, hey, we should manufacture this and put it in the store. All right, into injury news. Again, Arbor Jackeye has had season-ending shoulder surgery. Now, for Montreal, season-ending means the next week, right? And the idea being that he'll be healthy and good to go come training camp, and so no reason to really worry about Jackeye for next year, and you don't want him playing with a bad shoulder, right? Christian Dvorak's been cleared to return tonight. He hasn't played since December, so it'll be nice to see him back in the lineup. And for Montreal, it's about playing for jobs next year. A lot of teams that are out of the running. A reason to watch them is to say, hey, which of these guys are still going to be here next year? Which one looks like they want to stay, and which players look like they want to be somewhere else. Dvorak is a player that it will be interesting to see how he plays when he comes back. There's talent there. There's definitely talent there for Dvorak, should he be able to stay healthy for next season. Tampa Bay injury news. Jeannot and Cirelli are both likely to return tonight. They've missed Cirelli, obviously. Cirelli has 19 goals, so this gives him a chance to maybe reach 20. They will be without Hayden Fleury. They'll also be without Johansson. Johansson's out, so Vasilevsky, it looks like, is going to be the starter tonight. And I guess Tompkins ends up being the backup, right? So for the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have been pretty hot lately, 7-2-1 in their last 10, we'll see how things go with Jeannot and Cirelli rejoining the lineup. A good story out of Ottawa as well. So while we've talked about Winnipeg's attendance being down, and it has been, it's got better lately, but one team that's not having an attendance problem this year is the Senators, which is a bit of a surprise since the Senators this year have been worse than last year. But their attendance is up by an average of almost 1,000 people per game. If you take out the 2 Sweden games, then it is over 1,000 people per game. So it is weird how those get counted as home attendance. Like, it's overseas. It's not the same. But at any rate, they've had 18 sellouts this season, and that says a lot about how solid a market for hockey Ottawa really is. And I think part of it is that you get new owners, you get, a new owner, and you get new general manager, new coach, and just this idea that, the whole organization's been refreshed. I think there's good reason for people to be going. Now it's about the team getting better on the ice to entice people to stick around. So we'll see if that's the case. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.